In the high altitudes of the Andes, above the veil of the clouds, the Inca Empire once ruled over more than 10 million souls, from the lush valleys of Ecuador to the dry reaches of northern Chile. Its spine was stone, a network of roads carved into mountains, each echoing with the footfalls of messengers, pilgrims, and soldiers. Its blood was ritual, law, and lineage. At the heart of this empire sat a golden city, Cusco, the navel of the world. Here, the emperor, the Sapa Inca, was more than king. He was divine, the son of Inti, the sun god. His bloodline was sacred, his will unchallenged. To preserve this divine order, the Incas practiced a brutal precision. Crops were catalogued, armies rotated by season. Rebellion was answered with assimilation or annihilation, and when it came to royal marriages, love was not a consideration. Power passed through the womb, and the womb could not wait. Among the noble-born girls of the empire, the Nustas, some were chosen not for beauty or kindness, but for their family's political weight. These girls could be wed by the age of 12, not for companionship, but to forge alliances, secure tribute, or calm unrest in distant provinces. You walk into the Temple of the Sun with knees unsteady, the woven fabric of your sandals pressing sharply against your heels. The air smells of burning maize and sweet smoke resin. 1,000 generations are watching, and today you are to become a wife. You are 12. She may have been a noble's daughter. She may have spoken Quichua or Aymara. She may have held a small clay doll in her hands as the priest began to chant. That doll, like her voice, would never be recorded in the chronicles that followed, and yet she was real. Historians still debate the ages at which Inca girls married, but several Spanish chroniclers, writing in the decades after the conquest, describe unions arranged as early as 12 or 13 for noble girls. These marriages were not romantic, they were strategic. An empire built on lineage could not risk uncertain bloodlines. The Inca elite often married within their own royal family, even siblings, to keep the divine blood undiluted. If you're still watching this story unfold, take a breath and imagine the altitude, the chill, the silence of stone temples perched above the clouds. Then tell me, from where in the world are you listening? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to know where this story is reached, because what comes next reaches far deeper. The gold will gleam, the vows will be spoken, but beneath the ceremonial silence, a child is being lost.
There is no feast, no laughter, no music, not in the way foreign kings might expect. This is not a celebration of union, but of function. The girl, the new Koya, or queen, is led by the hand through the corridors of stone, her steps quieted by the weight of expectation. The high priests whisper prayers to Pachamama, the Earth Mother, while the elders debate in hushed tones about what this marriage will secure. Perhaps it is a rebellious province on the edge of Lake Titicaca. Perhaps it is a rival Panaca, recently pacified. Perhaps it is simply tradition. No record tells us the exact purpose of this child's marriage. But we do know this: in the Inca world, the union of bodies meant the alignment of power. Royal women were vessels of diplomacy, and the younger, the more malleable. You are not consulted, you are presented. The golden tupu, a brooch shaped like a crescent moon, has been pinned to your tunic. It marks your elevation in the eyes of the empire. It also fastens your fate. By the 15th century, the Inca state had grown vast, a patchwork of conquered kingdoms, each bound to the capital through labor, tribute, and ritual. At its height under Pachacuti and later Huayna Capac, Cusco ruled over thousands of communities, speaking dozens of languages. This unity did not come peacefully. Instead, it was built through a precise mixture of terror and generosity. Rebellious leaders were killed or exiled, their heirs raised in Cusco as honored hostages. Local gods were brought to the capital, and local daughters were offered as wives. For the royal elite, marriage was as much a weapon as the macana, the hardwood war club. Every spouse, every child, every lineage tied together the empire's fragile web. The girl queen now lives within it. She learns quickly that her role is not passive. As Koya, she is expected to oversee state rituals, ensure the fertility of crops through sacred rites, and, most importantly, produce children of royal blood. If her husband is a prince, those children may one day rule. If he is a general, they will bind the sword to the crown. And you, if this is your life, you wake before the sun, your hands folded in prayer to a God you no longer trust. Will they remember me as a person or just a name in a lineage? Outside the palace, change brews. Spanish ships have landed on the western shore. Disease spreads faster than the messengers can run. And in the highlands, whispers begin of omens, of falling stars, of a divine reckoning approaching. You are only a girl, but you are also the mother of princes, and every empire is only as stable as its future heirs.
Years pass. Your name is spoken less often now. You're still Koya, but younger queens have come behind you. The empire no longer shines as it did when you were a girl. The roads still stretch for thousands of miles, the temples still hum with chants, but something in the sky has changed. At night you feel it in your bones, a tension in the stones beneath your chambers, like the earth holding its breath. From the coast comes word of men dressed in metal, pale-skinned, bearded, bearing crosses and fire. They do not kneel before the sun. They do not leave offerings at the wakas. They speak of a single God and demand the obedience of kings. Your second husband, the general, calls them demons. Others call them invincible. And then, as quickly as the rains end, the collapse begins. Huayna Capac, the emperor who had once ordered your marriage, dies suddenly, some say from a fever brought by the strangers. His sons wage a brutal civil war. You know their names. One of them is your blood. You cannot say which side to favor without risking all. The empire, once so tightly woven, begins to fray. In the midst of this unraveling, you find yourself alone again, a widow twice over, a mother to children whose fate is no longer yours to guide. The court no longer consults you. You are a relic of a different order, a symbol of alliances made in an age now crumbling. And yet, in a small, fire-warmed room, hidden beneath folded cloth, you still keep the stone doll, the one your nursemaid gave you when you were just 12, the one you held as the priest blessed your union, as the tupu pinched your shoulder, as the empire turned you into a vessel. It is smooth now, its features faded, its silence eternal. And as you hold it once more, you wonder, was the sacrifice worth it? Will anyone remember who I was before I was given away? History will not answer you. When the Spaniards arrive in full, they dismantle the temples, they melt the gold, they write chronicles, some accurate, most not, and they give new names to old places. The empire is broken, but the women, the queens, the daughters, the nustas, they remain only as shadows, buried beneath ceremonial walls, entombed with tupu pins, alpaca shawls, and dolls of stone. They will be found centuries later, some seated in fetal position, others wrapped with sacred leaves, some show signs of illness, some none at all, just silence. But even now their presence whispers through the soil, not as queens, not as names, but as daughters of the sun, asked to burn too early. And somewhere, far above the clouds, the empire sleeps.